What's good, everybody? What's going on, man? It's Stephen Qualls II, aka Mr. Qualified. It's your boy, and as you can see, we are back with the wall behind me. A little adjustment to the setup, but we are here again and back and better than ever for Behind the Brand. Man, it's been so long since I've got in front of this camera, for a lot of different reasons. A lot of, I guess if we being transparent, insecurities, a lot of second guessing, questioning, even at times, what, the brand was going to be, or what I wanted it to be, or what I wanted to do with it, and consistently trying to do the impossible and finding the perfect way to make it make sense to people who aren't me or who haven't known it since its inception. But ultimately, what I can say is that through it all, the passion and the desire, for Qualified to be great and for it to, still serve its purpose of, letting people know that what you want to do, is very possible. How you want it to look is very possible. And your story, your dream, what you're doing is needed, because it's the story that's going to help somebody continue to write theirs. And I think that's the biggest thing about dreamers in general. That's the biggest thing that I feel like I've learned about being a creative, is that somebody is watching. It may not always be the number that you want. It may not always be who you want or who you think you want, but somebody is watching. Somebody is looking at what you're doing and saying, that's for me, that's the blueprint. It's funny, when I released that last Behind the Brand, I believe it was May 2021, if I'm not mistaken, I could have swore, to myself, I was thinking man, it's just for the summer, if that, it was not supposed to be a long layover, or a long break in between, qualified content whatsoever. And I was really big on that, because when I did my Evolution to Qualified video back in 2020, that was one of my biggest things, is that, once I got rolling, I didn't really want to, look back. I didn't really want to stop, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, last summer got, really, really difficult. It was a big transition, after graduating from grad school, and that transition into the real world, as we call it, it wasn't a culture shock or anything, but it was a huge adjustment for me, in lifestyle and priorities and things of that nature. So it took a while to kind of get acclimated to that. And within that, I think what got so frustrating for me was that since I never forgot about Qualified, and since I never stopped thinking about it, I was really frustrated trying to figure out why I didn't have the energy, why I didn't have the desire, the passion in moments to, set up this camera, get here and do these videos, or even reach out to people for interviews, or even, reach out to the co-hosts that I have and record, episodes with them so we can get to releasing them. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like I was there. I didn't really feel present, and it was hard to sit in that, and it was hard to acknowledge that as well. And I think that's what's been so beautiful about this process now, because I feel like it was legitimately a year, because about June, July of this year is when I feel like the vision and things kind of started to align to where I felt better about dates. I felt better about branding. I felt better about everything that I was doing, and being able to bring that together. And I don't know, it feel like Qualified again. I think for the last year, a lot of things I would try to do didn't necessarily, feel like Qualified. And I did things personally, like the motivational videos on my page and things like that. But I always knew that if I was going to do something with Qualified, I wanted it to feel right. I wanted it to be something that I knew I took my time with and didn't rush. And so being patient with myself was probably one of the biggest challenges that I had and that I faced as well. So yeah, but what I can bank on, and what I want people to bank on from me, is I'm gonna make this content like this. As much as this content like is for everyone else and is for the people who can take away something from it, it's for me as well. And I think that's what's been missing the last, I don't know, year or so, is me doing this content, me genuinely, doing something that I love. So yeah, through it all, through all the trials and tribulations, through all the trying times, for me personally, we back, and it feels really really good to be back. So I'm excited to jump back into this, and I'm excited to kind of let this lead me, wherever it will. But I know that it's necessary, in my life moving forward, as I start to prioritize things that I know are going to be beneficial for me. And I think this might be the most beneficial thing for me outside of my relationship with God, obviously. But yeah, so I mean, we'll keep digging, into myself. We'll keep digging into the brand for sure. But happy to be back and happy to be talking with y'all again every week. So until next week, I'll see y'all. Peace.